What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. We have arrived in Moab, Utah for Easter Jeep Safari, and we are on the trail and we headed straight for Hell's Revenge. We actually lucked out and got a pretty solid group. So it's Cassie, myself, Nate from Dirt Lifestyle, Sean from The Story Till Now. So we have a fun day of wheeling. Let's get to it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is the slowest Tacoma in the world, the Marlin Crawler guy, aka Big Mike. We started off the first day on Hell's Revenge Trail. Nate kind of took over. He took over leading the trail ride because he was familiar with the trail before. And we pulled up to the very first hill climb on Hell's Revenge, and then both Tacomas just crawl right up it. The longer wheelbase definitely helped them. But then the stock Bronco pretty much walked right up it. The rear bumper definitely kind of like dug into the sand a little bit, but it didn't care.
Alright, let's see if she just crawls up or if he's gonna have to get some smoke. Easy peasy.
The rocks out there, they're almost like sandpaper when your tires sit up. I mean, they grip.
So we continued down the trail and made our way over to Hell's Gate. And we dropped in on that. Both Jeeps climbed right up it without any issues. Hell's Gate is definitely one of those iconic climbs to get a picture or video on.
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily a hard climb as long as you pick the correct line.
It can go wrong really fast. We've all seen the videos of when
yeah.
that happens, but when you pick the right line, you go right up it. Sean's Bronco, there was a little moment there where you almost thought maybe
Oh yeah, his passenger tire lifted up in the air just a little bit, but luckily it settled back down and everybody made it without any issues. Oh, he's gonna do it.
Oh, what a show.
He's doing it. No, not fair. I was just talking about that.
Self-indulgent, don't you think?
It was just too nerve-wracking. I had to hop out.
Let's ride the whip and make rap songs about this, dude.
Have you seen anyone go down it?
Yeah, people go down it.
That'd be crazy.
Weird.
Have you seen nobody go down it though?
Yeah. I've never seen nobody go up it.
How long is your YouTube video supposed to be? Do I need to go slower? Get some more.
Cassie and I that was our first day.
We had just gotten to Moab. We just wheeled a trail and it was almost like 5 or 6 o'clock. We hadn't checked into our hotel yet.
Booked it back into town to check into our hotel and settle down and then kind of figure out what we were gonna do on the second day, because this is our first time at EJS. We've been to Moab a long time ago, but we'd never been to an EJS. So we woke up Tuesday morning, that's when everybody saw the snow.
Oh, in case y'all didn't know, it snowed in Moab.
Yep.
And that morning we got a late start, and then we went to go do Cane Creek.
Yeah, so we didn't realize that Cane Creek, while it's a really cool trail apparently, it takes about 45 minutes on a gravel road to even start the beginning of the trail. So we drove out there, we didn't really know exactly where we're going. We decided to turn around about halfway through and make it back into town, because that night we had the meet and greet at the Moab Brewery with Barnes4WD. So the very next day, we all met once again at the same parking lot, and from there, we headed towards top of the world.
Hopefully everybody's wheeled up and everything. It's about 45 minutes on paved road before we get there. So once we we get there, we'll stop in the gravel parking lot, air down and everything. So
It was a beautiful drive out to the trailhead. You kind of went out along this windy road, right along the mountain, into the valley, along the Colorado River. It was a really pretty ride.
Beautiful ride, and we ended up about 45 minutes later at the head of the trailhead, if you would call it that. We had about 20 something rigs all lined up. We started airing down, got in line, and hit the trail. Now, as you can imagine, getting to the top of the world is quite a long trail. Luckily, it's not too hard, but it's a long trail full of amazing scenery. And that's one of the great things about Moab is the trails are a little bit longer, but you make up for it just with the amazing views. Even though there's not crazy rock crawling, it is still an amazing adventure. Luckily, we are with a pretty cool group of people. We got Matt's Off-Road Recovery, Barnes4WD Drive, and a bunch of other people here on the trail ride. We probably have another 20 or 30 minutes of gravel driving until we get to some obstacles. Then we start making our way up to the top of the world. We're about 20 minutes in to Top of the World Trail, and it's pretty fun. We got Connor over here in the passenger seat.
I'm the marketing manager for Barnes4WD Drive, so do all the social events, social media, stuff like that. And so yeah, we got everybody, Matt's Off-Road, Ben and Cassie out here today. Yeah, just having a good time, gonna go see the top of the world.
Yep. Now Connor actually has the Comanche that we saw earlier, but the owner of Barnes4WD Drive, Brad Barnes, is he driving it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's driving Connor's rig. Connor was out getting some footage at that last little obstacle back there. So the next obstacle, hopefully, will be soon.
You're on your link right there. You're gonna have to slide over it. Ah, you still hit it. There it is. Woo!
Well, that was easy.
Nice.
So here you go, it's yours. Welcome.
we made
Say
him
hello, world.
Hello. We made him sit back there. So he's not cold.
You got front seat, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're helping me. You're spotting me.
Yeah.
Tell him your name.
I'm Henry.
Cool.
And we do got a YouTube channel. It's called Taking the Fun Road.
There you go.
Go subscribe to that.
Boom. Where are we at today?
We're at Top of the World.
Cool. You want to pick up the camera and show them the view? Oh yeah. You like this trail so far?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Cool.
It's fun too.
Oh yeah.
Not too hard, but you can also make it hard if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's bypasses for all the tough. And speaking of that, where's your mom and dad?
I don't know.
Yeah, get called for kidnapping. I wasn't paying attention. I love it.
No ketchup.
We're about to see if the view was worth it. I'm not even going to try to explain it because I can't even begin to describe how awesome this is. we got to the top, everybody kind of had a nice lunch break. Individually, we went up to the top of the world, the edge, that iconic picture, and everybody who wanted to go up there was able to drive up there and get a picture. I remember Connor, I think he was the only one with the manual. There might have been a few others, but driving up to the cliff in a manual transmission is definitely kind of scary. I can only imagine. Just like the saying goes, what goes up must come down. The Top of the World Trail is definitely, I'd say, one of my top 10 bucket list trails, just because of the scenery. The trail itself is pretty long. The rock crawling obstacles aren't too hard. I definitely recommend lockers and 35s at a minimum, but the views up here are phenomenal. Phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Guys, if you haven't been out here, I'd highly recommend it. Beautiful trail, great day. I'm about to run out of gas, so we gotta make it back down. Dun, 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 dun. That's not good. Should probably have filled up.
Drop. Right there.
I've been on quarter tank with the light on. The light's been on for the past, since the Top of the World. So we probably have almost zero gas left. Thank you, Jake.
You got it.
You know how much this is worth right now? This is gold.
Yeah, that's 40 bucks.
Yeah. All right, guys, unfortunately, this is the last day of EJS for Cassie and I. We have to head home. The plan was this morning to hit Poison Spider Mesa. However, during EJS, there is a very, very long line for pretty much all of the obstacles. So we woke up this morning, got a little bit of a late start. We're like, we're just gonna do half of Poison Spider, do some really cool rock climbing, get some footage, but turns out, even the first obstacle, there's a Toyota broke down sideways on front of the first obstacle. So unfortunately, it looks like we are just gonna head home. We had an amazing time here out at EJS. There are a few things we need to go home and fix.
Lots of things we need to fix or modify.
And kind of change up.
Ben's got a axle seal leaking, so we know if we hit any more trails, that could just get worse and he just have to rebuild.
That is true. So there's a lot of leaks. We got an axle seal leak on mine, and it looks like it's starting to get pretty bad. So we're gonna call it quits. And for Cassie's Jeep, she's leaking a bunch of oil. So we have quite a few projects to do. Rear springs kept popping out. But overall, I would say the Jeeps did really good.
They did. It was a lot of fun out here too. West Coast wheeling it's something we don't get to do often. So when we get to do it, we almost want to enjoy it versus like trying to hop out and film everything.
And that is one thing. We got to get better at getting out and make sure we film a lot. But you know, this is like our first real time in Moab. Wanted to make sure we had a lot of fun and still give you guys the same experience. We're working on it. We're working on it. But let's head 15 hours home, pull these things in the shop, and see what we got to do to fix them.
See the damage that's been done.
Let's check out the damage. And just like that, we are back home, safe and sound. It's kind of crazy that both rigs, we had like a bunch of changes, not only right before EJS. Like on my rig, we did a few projects before, but yours was completely changed for the first time before, like days before leaving.
Risk.
It was extremely risky, but we drove 800 miles out there, like 15, 16 hours, wheeled for 4 or 5 days, and then drove all the way back home. So,
no, we had some problems. So
oh yeah, we definitely had problems. So that's the next series of few videos is gonna be fixing all these issues that we had and kind of going in depth and figuring out, you know, what problems do we actually have, why we had them, and how can we prevent them from happening in the future. On my Jeep, brake line failure. The rear driver brake line had a pinhole leak, which
not sure how that got there.
No idea. We're gonna have to look into that and probably change all the brake lines out. Looks like my 2 axle seals leaking, one of the fronts and one of the rears, so we're gonna have to change those up. And then like there's a few other changes we're gonna kind of dive into. I wanna do a little steering upgrade, which we'll talk about later. But other than that, the JK did phenomenal. I've said that earlier. I said that earlier, and I don't know why that's in my head, but what about the LJ?
LJ only had 2 issues. One, on the drive, the radiator fan, we had done a wire tap in his electric fan. So the wire tap, we think, just kind of wiggled loose. So we had to do that on the side of the road. We had to crimp it and make it a permanent connection.
That was one of those things, I hate wire taps because when they vibrate, they eventually, you know, kind of fall off or lose connection. But we had done that just for testing purposes to figure out if that was the right one to tap into.
Yeah.
And You know how it goes. You wrap it up and then forget about it. So we changed that.
And that was on the side of the road on the way there. And then we got an oil leak somewhere around the oil pan. We got a small drip.
Oh, it's
a big drip, but
it's a big drip, so we got to fix that. But other than that, the Jeeps did amazing, and we are back here ready to start pumping out content for you guys. So, like always, thank you for watching. I want to give a big shout out to Barnes4WD for not only hosting a great meet and greet, but also hosting a phenomenal trail ride. I was talking to everybody out there, and everybody had a blast. So please don't forget that Barnes4WD does offer discount codes for both my channel and Cassie's. Mine is JK Gears, the discount code. And yours is?
Mine is Jeep Gear, but I mean, it really use either one.
You can use either one, but they are one-time use codes. You have to be logged into an account, and it'll get you 10% off. Thanks for watching, guys. Like always, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next week.